It's all we've got. If you can't communicate, you don't have democracy, for a start, because it's through communicating that we tell our politicians what we want and they communicate back to us. And if we detect in their answers or the way they communicate with us that they're stitching us up in one way or the other, they're not being entirely frank and open and honest with us, and mostly they're not. Sometimes they are, but mostly they're not. We use language to tell them. And we have only ourselves to blame if we fail to tell them. You can't conduct any sort of discourse unless you're able to communicate. A child communicates with its mother without language as such, but she knows what the child is needing or wanting at that particular time, because that's instinct. Beyond that, we have to use words. And we can choose the right words or we can choose the wrong words. We can choose the right approach, we can choose the wrong approach. It's down to us. Those who communicate successfully are, whatever they're doing, and this is the important point, whether you're a politician, whether you're a preacher, whether you're using a pulpit, whether you're selling, double glazing, you use the language that's appropriate to the task. And if you can do it properly, you'll be better at that task. The essence of communicating remains the same. It remains, I wasn't around at the time, although I'm almost old enough, in the Stone Age, it probably remains pretty much the same as it was then. I mean, maybe there were more ugs and grunts and things, but nonetheless, the essence of communicating remains the same, which is, you decide what you want to say and you say it. The medium that you choose to say it has changed dramatically, but the fundamental, the approach, hasn't changed actually. If I'm tweeting, I've got to count 140 characters, of course, and therefore I fit my thoughts into those 140 characters. If I'm sending an email, I want it to be reasonably crisp, I do the same. If I want to do a lecture, a 50-minute lecture, or God help us, a blog that goes on for page after page after page after page after page, I'm still using words, I'm still using language, I'm still using sentences. It's the soapbox that's changed. That's all. The essence of communicating is directness. When Churchill made his "we'll fight him on the beaches, etc." speech, we knew precisely what he meant. There was no ambiguity about it. The language was clear, simple, direct. The sentences were short. By the end of that short speech, we knew precisely what Churchill wanted the nation to do. Say it as economically as you possibly can. Use as few words as you possibly can. We're all busy people. Customers especially are busy, and they know that they've got other people to go to if they find you a long-winded old bore, and if they've got to spend 3 hours trying to discover what your company's all about rather than a quarter of an hour.